And it looks like there's some activity once again. We did know from Darius they were using some sort of pepper ball earlier.
What is going
you see
on,
smoke
man?
right now. There is definitely a scuffle there, some sort of smoke. I don't know if it's what exactly that is from. You can see that officer just chasing someone away. Now, of course, that group is blocking
why is they
that
out there like
vehicle,
that?
which it's an act of civil
Let them people do
disobedience,
their
but that
job.
also is not something that protesters are supposed to be able to do or allowed to do. So those agents were trying to get that vehicle through. There was that commotion. You do see some smoke. We haven't seen anybody at this point moved by an agent except for that one scuffle. Darius Johnson has been up. Agents are taking someone into the facility. That is a second protester. Let's check in with Darius Johnson, who's been on the ground there all morning long. Darius, what can you tell us about how this started?
Hey, Lou, get the shot inside of the facility. They have someone on the ground. If you're able to see that person, they're closing the gate right now. There's a person on the ground being held on the ground by those ICE agents. And look, if you pan over right now, Lou, let's see right here with the vehicle. They are plowing through the protesters right here at this vehicle. They've tried to deploy everything that they could as these protesters were trying to block agents from moving in and out. They have another man. They are just deploying anything that they can to try to get the protesters out of the way. Dana, give me 1 second as I put my mask on because they just sprayed chemical agents again. Okay. So right now, this is what we have been seeing. This has been one of the tensest moments this morning. What just happened right now? You had vehicles that were trying to make its way out. Dana, I'm actually going to move away from the camera now that the smoke is
Darius,
now impacting my eyes.
You need to get away from that smoke. Please, we appreciate you reporting. Get away from that smoke.
I'm back near the vehicle, Dana. I'm near the vehicle. I have a mask on. I'm okay. So basically, every time that people are pulling out, they are blocking the vehicles from getting in and out. At this point, what we saw this time was the agents on top of the roof. They started, Lou, you need to get something on your eyes.
Sorry, it's very important.
Dana, let me send it back to you. We're going to hold the shot.
Yes.
We just need to protect our eyes.
And this ain't like a this isn't like a big street. It's only enough space for like a car to park on each side and down the middle.
In that west suburb, Darius Johnson's been on the ground all morning. The agents have deployed some sort of chemical, some sort of smoke that Darius was just saying was an irritant to his eyes. Our photographer, Lou Kleinberg, out there on the scene too. As they wisely did, they have moved away from that smoke.
This is crazy.
To try to protect their eyes, to try to get protection on. We are told, as reporters in the field, we should have protective gear just in case a scene like this becomes volatile, which it has this morning. There have been flare-ups like this over the past about almost 2 hours now, a little more than 2 hours perhaps. As Darius was just mentioning.
I want to say this. What is the purpose for this, man? Look, and I mean, like, when y'all protesting, you have the right to protest, right? But why are you blocking law enforcement from doing their jobs? That's where the problem comes in. They don't care that you out there protesting. But if they're trying to get in and out of the facility and you're blocking the way to get in and out, and then not only that, you enter into the realm that's basically their property by trespassing, so they grab you up. Why do that? And I understand you might want to feel like as if, oh, I'm doing this for my people. Cool. And there's a lot of people I know that's like they doing this for their people. But at the end of the day, you got to understand, you chose to make it home. It's okay to protest. But the feds, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. So protest, sit on the side just like you're supposed to do. And because it'll turn into a riot immediately. And then now they're using riot gear, pushing people out the way. And it just caused more drama when in actuality they're just trying to get in and out. Just let them get in and out, let them do their job and keep moving. That's really it. Because what's your objective? They going to get them in there. You know what I'm saying? So what, you going to stop them from bringing 1-2 people in there? They going to get in there. That's what people don't understand. ICE, HSI, they going to use whatever tactics they need to get into that building to get those prisoners or the people they arrested into the building. Even if they got to use the smoke gas, they're going to use it. You're going to have to get back. That's it. You got to get back. Just let them in and out. You can protest, stay on the street, give them a way to get in and out. That's really all there is to it. But this is why they start that shit, and then everybody come out with the riot gear. You can protest. You have the right to protest, yes, but peacefully. You can't obstruct justice. You know what I'm saying? They trying to transport prisoners in and out of the facility. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally in the way of the getting out. You can't do that, bro. You got to protest peacefully. That's all I'm saying. This is crazy. This is in Broadview, for those that don't know. It's like west of Chicago. Let's see what this guy got to say.
We had to put on masks, and I was trying to make sure our photographer was good. Again, what we are seeing, take a look. You can see protesters. And
I've noticed every time, who news channel is this? CBS, every time they got a news reported in the trenches or out west, they send this dude.
Vehicles try to move in and out. Protesters are using their body as a shield to prevent people, the agents, from getting in and out with their vehicles. Every time they do that, that's where agents are ready to deploy pepper balls, deploy tear gas, anything that they have to be able to try to get the protesters out of the way. At this moment right here, you had a vehicle trying to get out, and this was the thickest crowd that we've had all morning, upwards of at least about 100 people.
Right. Blocking the driveway.
They were blocking that vehicle from getting out. As soon as they opened that gate, the agents were ready with those guns that had pepper balls and that had all of these different chemical agents to be able to deter the crowd once again on the roof. They started to deploy those chemical agents as the vehicle started to plow through the crowd of protesters. Those protesters were on top of that vehicle. They were not moving. They were holding the line, and those on the roof, the agents on the roof, continued to try to shoot off those chemical agents to ensure that vehicle could get through. That didn't happen. That's when they kept deploying tear gas to try to get people out of the way. Go ahead, Dana, I'm listening.
So, Darius, I just want to make sure to clarify, you saw firsthand and heard firsthand the agents on the roof deploying some sort of pepper ball or some sort of projectile trying to disperse the crowd?
Yes, I watched them with my own eyes. That was at the point where I grabbed the mic and I started talking, and I asked them to bring my mic up. We were watching them from the roof start to shoot down into the crowd as the vehicle was making its way out, because essentially the agents on the ground were outnumbered by the sheer amount of protesters and demonstrators who are here.
That is true.
We know, that this has been a heated series of protests, Darius. First of all, how are you doing right now? And how are the protesters who, got the chemical in their eyes doing, especially that one person we saw on the ground? They were trying to flush her eyes with some sort of water, saline, which I don't think is the best thing you're supposed to do. I think you're supposed to use milk, but that's
I was going to say that.
How's everybody doing? Are you okay?
Yo, let me pause it. I was going to say that. I was like, wait, she using water? I think you got to use milk. That's what I thought. Maybe I'm wrong, but then again, they just trying to get in and out. So this situation, I just want to let y'all know, I don't know what your opinion is on this. Like, you can protest, and I tell people, even people I work with, you can protest, just do it peacefully, man. So, your voice is heard, because once it gets violent, it gets out of control, and you don't want it to get out of control because they'll take it there as well. So it's just best for everybody to calm down, do what you can do peacefully, freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of protest. So you can protest and everything, just be on the side, do it legally, you know what I'm saying? And all they wanted to do is I doubt that those agents would have came outside of them just protesting. It's really the fact that you blocking the roadway and we trying to get through, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to get smoke in your eye. Sorry, step back. You know what I'm saying? That's it. They just need people to get in and out. They're going to do their job. So what y'all think y'all going to do? That being said, I want y'all to tell me what you think in the comments section. Like the video for YouTube algorithm. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Peace.